Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. Tonight's video is just going to have a quick look at the price rebound we've seen today and a dive into a little article we saw about lightning networks, okay? And I don't dive too deep into it from the technical side of things, but it's important for you guys to be aware of this as we move forward. So now we've seen $5 billion flow back into the crypto market to push us back over $100 billion total market cap in the past 24 hours, okay? Um, you guys know that I thought this was only a dip, and I was encouraging you to hold if this is your first real correction you've been involved in the crypto market. And um, well done to those guys that bought the dip and those guys that didn't panic and sell. And we're starting to see the price recover now. So I just want to touch on this book by Nate Silver, one of my favorite books, The Signal and the Noise. And Nate goes over sort of the art and science of prediction, and he talks about statistics and probability and how to know what the important message is and how to cut out the noise. And I think yesterday was a good example for you guys that are just getting into the investing world. And I always like to tie my technical analysis with my trader psychology side of things. And we go to the mainstream sites here and we read about how Ethereum plunges 24%. It's the clickbait, the big headline, but the reality is these things are up hundreds or thousands of percent over the past 12 months. And the Wall Street Journal and these big hedge fund guys and the smart money guys they're trying to scare you out and trying to force you to sell because these guys haven't bought big positions yet and they want to buy. And I know for a fact that there's guys that are getting their bonuses this year that work in investment banks that are going to put them towards buying cryptocurrency because they haven't yet. And they're hoping that you get panicked and they can get some more headlines and they'll really try and capitalize on any bad news and push that in your face, okay? But these things are here to stay, and you guys know where I think it's all going in the long term. So another article here on Zero Hedge Virtual Bloodbath. Now these guys are one of my favorite websites, but again, you've got to take all these headlines with a grain of salt and read both sides of any news that comes out and form your own opinions and perspectives. So now, from a technical point of view, Bitcoin sort of had about a 10% rebound from its spike down lows. Ethereum, the strongest here, with about from 200 now over nearly to 290 now. So what's that? Nearly 45% rebound from the spike down low. And Litecoin as well. So spike down to about $33 here and a strong rebound back over $40 now. So 20 plus percent for Litecoin. And I know a few of the smaller coins have had big recoveries as well, but now, when we have a straight run up like this, you've got to remember that I was saying that a certain percentage of guys are going to want to take profits, and then once there's a bit of blood in the water, these shorters are going to come in and short the market to make money on the way down. And when we see sharp reversals in Elliott wave theory, we talk about impulsive wave structures, and when we see really sharp reversals like that, the shorters are covering, they're locking in their profits, and they're scared to be short at this point. They think these things are going to go back up with some force, and this is all part of the healthy market and money changing hands, okay? So the next thing I just want to talk about is this article that came out on Medium about mathematical proof that Lightning Network cannot be decentralized as a Bitcoin scaling solution. And please watch my other videos about the Bitcoin fork and about the Litecoin, Litecoin as well is proposing a Lightning Network, but Ethereum roadmap and the Lightning Network that they're proposing. But basically, at the moment, cryptocurrency, the beauty of it is that it's decentralized. So peer to peer, anyone with the apps on their phone connected to the appropriate crypto network can transfer money between each other. And these networks are getting to the point where they're so popular now. They're sort of thousands to millions of people using them. They're getting congested. We need a scale to make them bigger. And if we want to make payments instant and all that sort of thing in the financial industry and in the real world, we've got to scale these networks. And initially it was thought that we could do that by block size, increasing the block size, and the Bitcoin crowd is still debating what's the best way to do that and talking about SegWit 2x and all that sort of thing. And watch those videos if you haven't watched mine already. But basically they want to make these micropayments sort of side channels that can link back up with the network, and you'd almost be putting Bitcoin in your address and agreeing that you can transfer back and forward between certain parties and then link back up with the main network ledger later on. So that's kind of a quick introduction to how the Lightning networks work, and don't want to go into it in too much detail yet, but at the moment it's anyone can transact with anyone, and he's sort of trying to point out that if we want to these lightning networks to mathematically work, there's going to have to be some level of centralization. And a lot of people think the lightning network's going to be able to run through anyone to anyone, but the reality is we might end up looking like this, where we sort of have these central hubs where certain individuals or Bitcoin addresses will have to stake large amounts of Bitcoin for others to sort of transfer through them. And it's a little bit complicated, but that's not the point I want to make. The point that I want to make is, at the moment, this is our current financial system. Everyone's got to go through one bank, and then they decide if they want to lend out to someone else or transfer that to someone else a few business days later for, you know, between cross-border payments and whatnot. But even if we have to compromise slightly, if the code's all open source and we can trust these central hubs, this is still leaps and bounds better than what we've got. And some real purists of the decentralized sort of mindset are going to argue that, oh, this is creating centralization. But the point I want to make is that I'm not fussed. As long as this is 100 times better than using a bank, I've got my own money, my own cold wallet addresses offline. I can send it instantly to anyone in the world to think through these side payments. If we've got to compromise to make some sort of centralized hub rather than be completely decentralized, this is still fine by me. And crypto is still going to succeed in the long run with these sort of things. And now all this code is still sort of, this is uncharted territory. So this is the risks involved with crypto. And Ethereum developers have said that they're on target with all their roadmap developments, if not ahead of schedule. But the Bitcoin crowd are, like I said, still debating, and you guys know my thoughts on that. And I hope they succeed in the long run, as I'd love to see Bitcoin as a world reserve currency in a few years. But I just wanted to point this out and how this all works, and I think it's important to be aware of as we move forward, particularly approaching the Bitcoin fork on August 1st. Okay, so now I just want to finish off by thanking the guys that sent me donations of 0.003 and 0.004 Bitcoin. This is becoming a real passion of mine. No one was interested in this stuff a few years ago, and the community is really growing, and it's really healthy to see. I'm also going to be offering some one-on-one or some group chat sessions. If you guys want a more personalised experience with my undivided attention, okay, for a small fee. But please hit me up if you'd be interested in that sort of thing. And I'm going to continue to do all my usual videos and technical analysis for free, like I always do, as I just want to spread the word and get as many people into crypto as I can. But just want to thank everyone that sent me kind messages lately and given me the positive or negative feedback on how I can improve this channel for you guys. So thanks for tuning in.